But yeah, I think it's time to switch to Reto. Thank you, Chris.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, Reto.
Okay, I'm just going to share that screen. Okay, now let me go back to the beginning. No spoiler. Well, that was fantastic to listen about Mott, and I'm actually looking forward to see a eBMS full of Mott's scheme. Maybe we can call it different then. Today we're going to talk about the eBMS database again a little bit, the RBMS and new tools that came in, and it's still in development, but I would really appreciate your input and maybe some, I mean, it's a time to ask about some special feature that you're interested in. It's a Shiny app. It's not for everyone, but it's designed for a beginner user or people that are a little bit less comfortable with R. Obviously, it will have a limitation. It also is designed to standardize data. So if you have data set that you want to, that I ask every year to send us to feed in the eBMS, you could use the Shiny app to actually standardize them and send them to me. Then everything is easier. The field name are correct and everything. So I want to thank also Dylan Carbon, who actually designed the Shiny app, and he's still working on it. It's not available today. He's in Portugal working on or attending a workshop. So I really have, I'm in debt to him for the Shiny app essentially. But it might be the person that you will have to contact later with if you have special wishes for the Shiny app. So eBMS Central database, just to remind you that there's an online system, but we also have a central database that is collating everything that is on the online system and data that national schemes send me that are national schemes that are not using the eBMS online system. So the central database is actually collating everything across Europe that is available or that we have contact with and build trust. We have, like Christina mentioned, on Monday, we have reached more than 60 million number of butterfly counts. So these are count, so event. Every count can be 30, can be 40. So it's not the total number of butterfly, but it's the number of event of count reported. The number of transect, more than 13,000. So it's quite a big coverage. The monitor each year, there's about 7,850 kilometers that are walked across every second week, or I would say in average 6 times per year. And we have a total of 31 monitoring schemes distributed across 29 countries. So some countries have more than one scheme. That's another fantastic figure that really showed the growth of the eBMS and the number of transect that we are monitoring. And you see the last bit is still increasing with a little dip in 2020, but across the EU, the dark blue, that's the European member state. They are keep increasing, and yeah, I suspect that it will keep going up as new scheme have joined, and they are actually expanding. So more transect will be built and added to these in the coming years. The annual database, the central database is still updated the same way. So as I mentioned, we have the online system, and that's really fantastic. More people using the online system makes the data more standardized, makes my life easier. It's all in English, or I can choose the language actually that we have, and then we can integrate that into the eBMS, no matter how many countries it's standardized. But we are still very happy to receive your file. They can be in German, they can be in Swedish, Finnish, whatever, ideally in English, and a little bit with metadata. More scheme means more file, means also more work. So again, Dylan helped me quite a lot this year to write script to standardize everything and put that in the database in version 5. Next year will be version 6. And if you have change or something that is substantial in your data, you notice a big errors, you can always contact me and send me an update of the data, or just mention that something has been misidentified and you realize that, and then we can put another version of it. So 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, depending if it's a major or relatively minor update. So it's annually updated. It helps us to develop and update the indicator. The grassland indicator is one of them. And we also have a lot of increasing number of science-driven data requests by a researcher. So the eBMS database, it has 2 tiers. There's some that are part of the eBMS partnership that the data are shared openly with after approval to request. And there's others that are only used for development and contribution to indicator. If you have data that you want to have under an embargo, because it's a PhD student that has to write his paper, we are able to do that, and we can put a restriction on those data. So they can still contribute to inform the indicator, but rest assured that they will be stored in the eBMS database and not shared to the wider audience, even for specific requests. I also want to talk about those packages that we developed. RBMS that you might know, but maybe something that you're less familiar with is Climate Extract, which I had in a back pocket somewhere previously, but I thought that it's maybe the best use is in combination with the RBMS. So the RBMS helps you to shape the data, to put them together. So if you have your number of visits and the date of your visit, and only the presence or the count of a positive event, you can actually feed in the 0, and it's nicely structured, the data, to be able to use the following function to calculate the flight curve, the annual flight curve of each species, or the species that you have enough data. Note that every function has a lot of arguments, so it's flexible. You can change the start date of your monitoring. It can also be a winter monitoring if you're in the other hemisphere, or if you're monitoring across multiple seasons. You can calculate site index. So these are relative abundance indices for at the site. You can calculate collated indices for a region, for national scheme, for BMS, or for a larger region. And you can use Bootstrap to calculate the confidence interval around those collated indices, and also around your site indices. The Climate Extract, so it's essentially it's a tool that helps you to access data, and actually climate data, and associate them to the point, or having your point, your coordinate, and it will extract from a larger database the daily maximum temperature, average temperature, lowest temperature, pressure, precipitation. There's a lot of different parameters that are recorded and modeled at the European scale. It's available at the 0.01 degree grid. So this is about 10 kilometer resolution. If that's too heavy for your computer and maybe an overkill for your region, there's also a 0.25 degrees. So that's 30 kilometer resolution, which makes things much easier. So as I said, it extracts point-specific climate time series. You can calculate growing degree day for a specific point in a specific time period or in a day. You can calculate that accumulated growing degree day weekly, monthly, annually. So you could start from January to end of September, and every day you have the accumulation of growing degree day. And these data are updated every 6 months. So we are all relatively, maximum 6 months behind. And it starts from 1952 up to 2023 now. So if you put them together, the climate extract and the RBMS, you can actually calculate curve not just on the date, but also on other variables such as the growing degree day. And then using one function for one region, you can then derive and back transform that to a calendar date. So if you think about the mechanistic development of a species as temperature is increasing and the accumulation of growing degree is increasing during the season, that will trigger the development of your butterfly for specific species and the different shape and the different generation. But then that relationship might be relatively the same for a larger region, but then the specific point in that region will receive different level of growing degree day or temperature, and these different profile will affect the development locally. I think adding more biology in your modeling is actually quite good, and it makes the phenology prediction a little bit smoother in space and time, so you're not aggregating too many data and making errors at the edge of your boundary box and only modeling the center, or actually, there's many implications in that. So climate extract can actually allow you to get that profile of growing degree day for each of your site. And with the RBMS, you can adapt to, I mean, there's not a function that you press the button that does everything. And I don't know if that's a good solution, because one function it becomes a black box and people are less tempted to actually look at what's going on. But if you're interested, there's a way to do it, and I'm happy to help or actually inform you about how to do that. So finally, the latest in 22 in Laufen, I mentioned was a mock-up of a Shiny app that you would have all the figure, and you enter your data and you have summary stats and everything. Back then, we only had this kind of a little bit of a messy Shiny app, which I put the link on in the chat. If you press that link, I mean, maybe the server will crash if 50 of you go on it and try to do it, but it might work for a few of them. If it's not working now, try later, have a look at it. There's some test data that you can just see how it works and how it doesn't work. Just to mention that this is still in development, so we are happy to, there will be bug, and we are happy to improve and add new feature. So this is the link. So this is how it looks now if you log in. So you have a little welcome message and a little introduction, how it does. And you will see on your left-hand side the different table that you can upload, the count data, the visit data, and the site table data that you can upload. Then at the bottom, you have a result and a shapefile to filter. So the results section will take the different table that you have put in, and calculate some summary stats. The shapefile filter is used if you want to, if you have a national scheme that all the data are in one data set, but you want to extract one province result or map or summary stats. So you can use the shapefile of that and do a spatial filter on that. So you can upload your own CSV or RDS, depending on your format, and then identify the corresponding column. So it can be in your language, but we only ask you what is the date, what is the format of the date. So there will be transformation behind under under the hood in the Shiny app that will happen. You can visualize your data, you standardize your data, you can download those standardized data, send it to me, or use it in RBMS and explore your data, obviously. So you can upload your own file. If you click on the count table data upload, you will have choose your CSV file. As you see at just below that red circle on your right-hand side, you have load example data. So if you don't have data in hand, you can actually test drive the app with the data example data. And then you have to identify the corresponding column. That's a drop-down menu, as you see in the date below. It will show all the header on from the file that you uploaded. It will try to fit everything. So the visit data will actually look for, do you have a word called visit? It works nicely in English, doesn't work with other language. The date, you will also have to select the format, at least the order. Is it the year, month, day, or day, month, year, or something else? We're restricted to these three. Maybe we should open a fourth one to actually people can enter their own format. That would be great. So give more flexibility. But this is all in development, and we're happy to have suggestion. And then you can visualize your data. So you have your original data just to make sure that everything was uploaded properly. And you also see the date. So if you don't remember how the date was actually structured, you can see it there. And then you have the reformat table. You will see the header will have changed a little bit. And these are just the header that are often used in the RBMS, or the one that I like to have when people send me data for the eBMS database. And then you can explore the data. So as you upload the visit, the count, and the site data, we can have some summary stats. So the number of visits over the year, sorry. And you can also produce a map. So I don't know if Tobias is online, but I decided to use Switzerland data as an example here, but these are not the example data that are online. So don't worry, they are not shared out. It's just for this presentation here. And then you can also go for, I don't see that because I have the top. It's the diversity per transect, I think. So you have the number of species per site. Obviously, we can also improve. So the black circle should not be, the edge of the circle should not be black. So we can actually increase the visibility and legibility of this map. You will see at the bottom of the map, you can download the plot or the map. The map doesn't work yet. We have to figure out why. But download the plot, that always work. So you have a PNG, not high resolution, but maybe we should work on that to have higher resolution. You can also look for specific species. So it will actually look in and offer you a drop-down list for all the species that you have. It will produce a transect level or a section level map of species count per transect. So essentially, I don't know how much time is left, but ideally, if you have special feature that you want, or yeah, we can have a discussion about that. You write in the chat what you would like, the issue you have, including for RBMS. If you're using RBMS and you think it's a piece of junk and it doesn't work with your data, don't hesitate to send me a bug report. I'm happy to, and actually I'm happy to help them to fix them if I can, but it's also the only way I can improve it, because yeah, you are the user and I cannot test all the case, but most of them, and together we can really make a better tool. Thanks.